Welcome back, everyone. Last time I talked about the map. This time I will talk about mid lane and easy champion to master. Let's get right into it. As most of you know, mid lane is a solo lane which most people play ability power champion. Mid lane is a game-changing lane, where most of the champions are ability power champions. These champions scale in late game greatly. Today, I will tell you guys about 5 easy champions to learn that are powerful. Morgana is a mage champion, known for her crowd control and spell shielding abilities. Here's a breakdown of her abilities and passive. Passive Soul Siphon. Morgana heals for a percentage of the damage dealt by her abilities to enemy champions, large minions, and large monsters. First ability, Dark Binding. Morgana launches a projectile in a straight line. The first enemy hit is rooted for up to 3 seconds, one of the longest roots in the game, and takes magic damage. Second ability, Tormented Shadow. Morgana casts a cursed area on the ground, dealing damage over time to enemies within it. The cooldown is reduced if Soul Siphon heals her. Third ability, Black Shield. Morgana shields herself or an ally with a magic shield that blocks magic damage and prevents crowd control until it is broken or expires. This is one of her most valuable tools in countering mages and CC-heavy champions. Ultimate ability, Soul Shackles. Morgana tethers herself to nearby enemies, dealing magic damage and slowing them. If they don't break the tether after a few seconds, they take additional damage and are stunned. Morgana is great at wave clearing, helping teammates, and great for defending base. Her stuns are great help for teammates. Syndra is a great champion for mid lane. She has high damage and easy to learn. Here are her passive and abilities. Passive Transcendent enhances each of her other abilities once they've reached their maximum rank. In practical terms, this means that as you invest ability points into first, second, and third ability, each spell gains an extra bonus effect or increased potency when maxed out. For example, a max rank ability might deal more damage, have an extended range, or provide a longer stun duration. First ability, Dark Sphere. Syndra conjures a dark sphere at a target location within a moderate range. Second ability, Force of Will. Syndra can pick up one of her dark spheres and then throw it in a chosen direction. Third ability, Scatter. The weak Syndra releases a wave of force in a cone in front of her, knocking back all enemy units hit. Ultimate ability, Unleashed Power. Syndra channels her power to hurl all available dark spheres at a single enemy champion, delivering a massive burst of magic damage. Syndra is great for burst damage, which is really powerful in some matchups. Syndra is one of the most powerful and easy to play champions, but it's a little bit harder than Morgana. Malphite is a good champion that can be a tank or ability power champion. Here is his abilities and passive. Passive Granite Shield. Malphite gains a shield that absorbs a portion of incoming damage. This shield automatically regenerates over time when he isn't taking damage, helping him survive trades and skirmishes in the early and mid-game. First ability, Seismic Shard. It deals magic damage to the target and applies a slow, which can help in both chasing down foes and escaping. The slowing effect is particularly useful for keeping high mobility opponents in check or setting up for his ultimate. This ability is often used a lot for damaging the enemy champion. Second ability, Brutal Strike. It grants bonus attack damage. Additionally, it can provide him with extra resistances, helping to further bolster his durability in fights. Third ability, Ground Slam. Malphite slams the ground, releasing a shockwave that affects all nearby enemies. It deals magic damage in an area around him, making it effective for clearing waves or softening up clustered enemies. Ultimate ability, Unstoppable Force. Malphite's ultimate is a powerful initiation tool that allows him to leap toward a target area. On impact, he deals significant magic damage and knocks up enemy champions caught in the area. Malphite can POC with his first ability early game, and it's a great ability, Power Champion, for squishy champions. Malphite is one of the easiest champion to play, easier than most these champions. Heimerdinger is one of the most annoying champions to lane against, because of his turrets that can clear waves and deal damage to enemy champion over time. His turrets are very crucial for fighting and protecting himself. Let's talk about his abilities and passive. Passive Hextech Affinity. Heimerdinger's passive synergizes with his turret network. Every time he casts one of his abilities, his turrets respond with extra firepower, making farming for enemy champion difficult. First ability, H28G Evolution Turret. Once deployed, the turret automatically attacks enemy champions and minions within its range. Proper placement can help control key areas like choke points and force enemies to take alternative routes. Turrets last for a set duration or until destroyed, so managing their placement and timing is critical. Second ability, Hextech. Micro-rockets. The rockets deal damage to all enemies in the targeted area, making them useful for both wave clear and poking opponents during skirmishes. Combined with his turrets, these rockets add extra burst damage, especially when enemies cluster together. Third ability, CH2 Electron. Storm Grenade. The stun effect can disrupt enemy engages or secure kills, particularly when used to lock down high-priority targets. It works well with his turret placements, as stunned enemies are easier for his turrets and his other abilities to pick off. Ultimate ability upgrade. Ultimate ability upgrades one of the selected abilities. For example, the evolution turret will spawn a big turret which does more damage. The rockets will fire continuous rockets for a short amount of time. For the grenade, it will explode 3 times in a single line. Heimerdinger is a game-changing champion. It is powerful in team fights and annoying to deal with. Zyra is like Heimerdinger, but she deeply depends on her plants for damage and CC. Her gameplay is easy to play and is quite good in team fights. Passive Garden of Thorn. When hitting enemies with deadly spines or grasping roots, Zyra spawns thorn spitters who fight for her. First ability, Deadly Spines. Thick vines spread through the ground and explode into spines, dealing magic damage to enemies within the area. Zyra will also spawn a thorn spitter, dealing damage. For each enemy hit, the number of thorn spitters will increase. Second ability, Rampant Growth. Zyra plants a seed on an enemy champion, dealing damage over time and slowing them down. Third ability, Grasping Roots. Zyra sends forth vines through the ground to ensnare her target, dealing damage and rooting enemies they come across. Ultimate ability, Strangle Thorns. Zyra summons a twisted thicket at her target location, dealing damage to enemies as it expands and knocking them airborne as it contracts. Plants within the thicket are enraged. Hope you guys found this video helpful. See you guys till next time.